Hello, hello. I'm Chris with the Legacy team, and today we're going to be turning some table legs. These are the actual prototypes that we made for two different simplistic styles of legs. A business wanted to see if they could solve a problem that they had on manufacturing these types of legs. They were trying to do this on a simple lathe, and they find it was taking just way too long to do as many as they needed to do. And so they came to us to find a solution. So let's go see how we apply even a simple design like this on turning a round shaft diameter and creating maybe a simple detail like a radius on the end, and precise joinery so that hardware and different things can actually attach to those ends on Legacy's turning center. Now the turning center is a module that can be added to the Maverick E series at any time. So let's go see how it's done. Now the business that approached us, that gave us permission to show this as a cutting demonstration, mentioned that they were spending over an hour producing each one of these spindles with traditional woodworking tools like a lathe. Now there's nothing against using traditional woodworking tools, but the business owner needed to resolve two things. First is his time restraint. He knew that he wasn't going to be able to hit his deadline in time based on the time frame it would take to produce these spindles. Second, he wanted to see if there was a way to free up his time instead of him being at the lathe producing the parts the entire time. Is there a way to automate the process to where he could perform a second procedure while the machine is working? And so he came to us trying to find this type of solution. So let's break down the steps that are taking place here on the CNC in order to produce the two table leg designs that he needed. So the first and major cutter that's doing all the work for this simple design, just to create a round cylinder design, is this 1¼ inch surfacing cutter. Now here you can see that it's been used for two different areas. It's been used to rough material around, and here when we're roughing, we're actually using about a 3/8 step over per rotation in order to quickly remove that material. And then the final pass takes a smaller step over. The final pass receives an 1/8 inch step over so that we have a smooth, clean finish that requires minimum sanding. This same cutter was used to turn a tenon on one end of this table leg. And the last thing this cutter does is create a cut mark so it's easy to set up and cut to the edge of the blank for the secondary process. This first table leg uses a second cutter, which is called a round and route cutter. This is accomplishing two things. It's adding a radius to the end of the leg, but also creating an edge for a cut mark just like the surfacing cutter did on the opposite end of the table leg. When producing the same part over and over again, it's best to set up a fixture that you can get the part in and out of the machine quickly and accurately. Here we're using a self-centering 4-jaw chuck with a faceplate ring, and I have two faceplate rings so that while the machine is working, I simply attach one to another blank, and I can quickly switch out the blanks in less than 15 to 30 seconds and press go and immediately start cutting. Now the second leg design is almost identical to the first. The only difference is that the bottom of the leg, instead of receiving a radius, it's going to receive a tenon identical to the top of the spindle. So this entire table leg will simply use that same 1¼ inch surfacing cutter to produce the entire design. If we break down a time frame comparison, we were able to produce 5 spindles per hour for the first table leg design and 6 table legs per hour on the second table leg design. I asked this business owner how much he was charging the client for each leg, and instead of disclosing that for each item, we kind of broke it down how much he was actually making per hour when producing this on the Legacy CNC machine. And he was making between the two different table leg designs between $625 and $750 per hour. So not only have we succeeded at solving the two problems of freeing up his time in order to do other things while the machine is working, but also producing the part 5 to 6 times faster than he was doing originally. Now, I mentioned in the beginning of the video, what really made this so simple and easy to produce for Legacy CNC system is Legacy's conversational CAM software. This software allows us to simply plug in parameters of the design that we want to create, such as turning this section round, and we put in those parameters into a single process here in Conversational CAM. Here I can put a starting position, an ending position, the diameter at the beginning and the diameter at the end, and it automatically generates all the coding needed for that spindle based on the simple parameters that we input into our fields. There is no other CNC system in the industry that takes full advantage of the turning center like a legacy CNC. And there we go. This is the leg variation that has the tenon on the top end for the mounting bracket, and that just snugs beautifully right on the end. And then we have the opposite end that has a radius for the foot. So it even had the cut marks, so we knew exactly where to cut to length, and made this very fast and easy to reproduce over and over and over again in less than 10 minutes. So even though this is a simple design, and I may take it for granted, it's still a problem that had to be solved for a business. And what other machine can you find that can do turnings, joinery, sheet processing, furniture making, and the works all in a single platform? This is why the legacy CNC machine is so powerful, even when it comes to simple applications. If you're interested in learning more about a legacy CNC machine and what problems it can solve for your manufacturing needs or woodworking capabilities, I recommend you visit our website at legacywoodworking.com. Now, if you have any questions and would like to talk to a CNC expert who can talk about some of the, again, problems that you're running into that a CNC could resolve and find some solutions there, I recommend you call 801-491-0010, or you can just leave any comments or questions down below this video as well. Now, if you're interested in seeing more cutting demonstrations like this, feel free to click right over there. Don't hesitate to like, subscribe, and check that notification box so that you can be notified when new videos like this come out. And as always, thank you for watching. And remember, Legacy solves more woodworking problems than any other CNC manufacturer in the industry.